Yo, what's up, y'all? I hope y'all having a wonderful day. It's been a long time. I've dropped a video. Last video I did drop was, all my runs I did against HRs, VHRs, and whatnot. I hope you guys did enjoy that. If you guys haven't seen it, please watch that video. It's nice, please. If you are new, subscribe. I don't really ask to subscribe, if you like it or not, it's whatever you think, man. But today we're here for this bad boy. This is why you guys are here. As you can see, I have taken the manifold apart because I got a new build coming up. Yes, I'm still keeping it NA, but I've done so much research on HRs, VHRs, DEs, and rev up so much. Like, I know the ins and outs of these motors and what they're capable of, what they need. So I'm doing a new build because I don't want too many people to be copying me, and I want to do something else different. I'm already doing something different with this build. You guys already see it, but obviously a lot of people are going to start to get this, so I want to move on with it. So I am keeping the manifold on. I won't tell you what I'm doing yet. Only thing I will tell you, I guess, is I'm throwing cams and valve springs on this. Other than anything else, I won't tell you. You'll have to see it when it's done. This is probably a leap that I'm doing because it's never been done. This 100% has never been done. I spoke to a lot of people with experience over the guys. I spoke to a lot of companies. Big shout out to Jim Wolf. Spoke to Nis Formans. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Michael. Big shout out to Michael. All right, but let's get to the video. All right, you guys want to know what I did to my car? The only reason I'm letting you guys know what I did to my car is because I'm no longer gonna do it. And so, I already did it. I'm moving away from it. So, first off, where is the manifold? Let's get this bad boy here. All right, yes. My high ram, yep, the usual. Yes. Yep, upper and lower. Yes, that is still staying. So that's obviously, let's get that out the way. I did have a Holley high ram from Merlin Machinings. It did cost $1,600. It took about 3 weeks to get here. I had a deadline. I was actually, big shout out to him because I was rushing him to get it done because my tune was, I think, 2 weeks or the week before it delivered. So I had so much to do. Then I ran a 90mm throttle body. Yes, I actually got this used, so you can kind of see it's ported. I had issues with this. I think maybe because it was ported that it had idle issues. I don't know. Or maybe that was with the tune, but I'm just gonna assume it was with the throttle body because it was ported. A lot of people should know this, but ported throttle bodies sometimes are bad because the way they're ported have idle issues. Sorry for the lighting. All right. So this was the cable that ran. This was the cable that ran to the throttle body. You can also get something like this from Nis Formans. I think they can get one, so that goes to that, and then this goes to the throttle body, which was all the way right here. We're gonna start with the intake side. Since you already seen the intake manifold, I ran a coupler, and my intake, which was 3.5 inch exhaust, went here, went underneath here, all the way like that. I'm getting a new intake setup. I can't tell you guys my new intake setup. Once you guys see that, you guys are gonna be like, I'm a madman. Like, I put so much, like, my creativity, my mindset on that is ridiculous. I don't think it should be for the street. but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have two intake setups. One's gonna be a short ramp, so this is gonna be cut, so intake's gonna be right here for when I'm drifting, and my new intake's gonna be, my other intake is gonna be for racing. So I'm gonna keep those both in the car and just switch them out whenever. What else did I do? Let's see. Yes, I did get GTR injectors. This is the real GTR injectors. I got them used. Shout out to SZR Pro, or Houston Z, as other people may know him from. Got those on. I got my Manifold ported by Get Ported. The Instagram is @GetPorted. That's my good guy Alejandro. He used to have he was the fastest VHR in San Antonio. Now he has a S197. If you guys don't know, he's one of the fastest, and a 6-speed S197s over there. He ported that for me, and I got a thermal gasket. Heat soak was one thing I wanted to prevent, so everything was thermal. The Aeromotive gasket from Motordyne, this is what this one is. That red thing down there is a thermal gasket as well, so that no metal contact will be touching when it gets hot. And this manifold, the only time it got hot was when the sun was beaming on it. This thing was it was cool. That was one of the big keys as to why I made the numbers I made. What else? I did get my spark plugs. Where are they? They're over there. I did get those gapped. I'm probably see if I can give you the number. They were pre-gapped from Litmo Tuning. Let me see if I can see. Man, that thing is not gonna show. Come on. But it's, yeah, I'll probably see if I can put the link in it. But it was from Litmo. It was gapped, so I got it from him. What else did I do? I did a PCV delete, as you can see here and here. Did I do anything else on the engine side? That's it. Then, where's my phone? Because you guys won't be able to see it, but I removed it. I'm gonna probably tell you guys what happened. But here, I did an idle pulley delete. I had my OEM alternator pulley, and I had a Z1. No, I said OEM. I had a lightweight pulley from AMS, and I had a lightweight crank pulley from Z1. Those made a big difference. Like, they made a big difference, because before I put that on, I made 290 wheel tuned on E85 with all these mods I had. And when I switched those and fixed my intake, because if you can see everything's gold but this spot, I had to make a better intake, because my coupler, I had a different coupler. Then I bought that coupler and then re-dynoed. I didn't get a retune, I just re-dynoed, and that's how I made 303. But before that, before I installed the pulleys and fixed the intake, I had it stock like how it is now, and I made 290. Yeah, so the pulleys are here. This is the Z1 pulley, and it was the alternator pulley. I am no longer running this pulley because of my new setup. I can't run this. I cannot. So if you guys are in need of a lightweight crank pulley, hit me up. $100. Ship it straight to you, or if you're local, you can come pick it up. You know, see the build, see me. But yeah, they really helped. They really helped. They freed up a lot of horsepower for me. That's how I made the number I made. Let's see. Yes, it from the engine bay side. What else did I do? Okay, and then exhaust. Obviously, you can see the ISR titanium. You see how blue this? You see how blue this thing is? Shout out to ISR. I'm still trying to decide if I will run this exhaust again or not, because I want a F1 or something similar to F1, or a race, like a real race car sound. So we'll see, you know, if I get another one, because I have a feeling that the muffler may have went out, like inside the canisters, because the way it sounds, it doesn't sound the same like it used to. So I don't know if it's my new exhaust setup. I have no idea. but I'm gonna most likely get a Tome. If I don't get a Tome, I'm gonna stick with this exhaust. So I had the ISR titanium, I had an ISR 370Z exhaust. Sorry, I had ISR 370Z Y pipe. I'm sorry, 370Z Y pipe. I'm gonna explain to you about that in a bit after after my whole build. I did have ISR long tube headers. With this setup that I was doing, ISR long tubes helped a lot. Normally on DEs, long tubes or even headers don't make no gain, if not like 2 to 3 horsepower. So the money you're spending on it was not worth it, because one, it tries to shift your power band to the right when your intake side is switching it to the middle and the left. So it's like confusing. So way my setup was, that helped a lot. So I am actually going to get PPEs. So I'm gonna sell those long tubes. I took out everything except the long tubes, so I'm gonna take that out when the buyer's ready to buy it. What else did I do? My diff was solid, solid diff bushings, solid. What else? I'll show you. Yeah, this car is fully gutted. So that diff brace from Bell Racework, the car was completely gutted. Sorry for the lighting again. I even sold my other seats to the point that I had to use these seats just to run. Like, I had to borrow these seats from a friend just to run people, because I thought I was gonna get some bucket seats in time, but I didn't. So that's what I was using. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. I was fully full bolt on. Like, everything on this car bolt on wise was touch, stock block, everything. So yes, once I took those crank pulley, the lightweight pulleys, and I took something else out, and I also switched to a 370Z diff, a 369 diff. That made a big difference, good and bad. I'm gonna explain why. I got retuned 2 weeks ago because my car was, I had idle issues, and it was popping during idle, which was, I think I was running Lena Ridge, something like that. So I went to get retuned. So I took everything out because I was getting ready for the new, the new setup, but I wanted to drive it still. So Martin, shout out to Martin, that's my main tuner. He came down here to Houston and he retuned it. He asked me what did I do different. I just told him the stuff I took out and what I added, which was the diff. And he was saying, because I'm not making that much power yet, that I'm gonna lose some top end because of the diff. And I didn't believe it, and it was true. So with the pulleys taken out and the diff added, I actually made 280. And ever since that day, that same day, I ran the fastest DE, which is Maxima here in Houston. I'll probably see if I can upload the video, share the video. He gave me the work. So for you guys that want to do that, just know you need to spend money and like throw everything on here. Is the manifold worth it? No. For boost, possibly, possibly for boost, possibly. That's if you're doing like a drag build, but if not, no. A lot of my friends keep saying, man, just go boost this and that. I mean, this is not my only car. I mean, or will this be my only car? I'm gonna get other cars boosted. I want to even prove that these DEs can make HR numbers, if not more than HR numbers. So that's what I'm chasing now. My new setup that's gonna be soon, hopefully, because it's a lot I gotta do. I'm aiming for 350, and maybe if that's on E or M5, yeah, that's that. But I can't really say everything that I'm doing yet until I do it, because one, I need torque, and two, I need top end. That's the main key when you're doing races like this: top end and torque. Now, I'm gonna have to explain to you guys why I think this manifold on a DE is not fully worth it unless you're willing to spend like 10 grand. First of all, the manifold is meant for top end only. I'll probably see if Martin can send me my latest graph that I made 280 on. When I made 303, my torque was at 238. Now, I was really upset about that, and driving it, when you initially give it gas, you can tell it doesn't have that much torque because the whole power will shift to the right. So, but when you're like top end, you love it. Like, it's amazing. That top end feeling is amazing. So I still would prefer top end over torque, but I would still say, sorry, you need torque just to at least get you there quicker, especially in the power band. I would regret getting the 370 diff, especially for you guys that like to race a lot. It's not worth it in a way. Like, you should really stick with if you want top end, stick with the 3.5. But if you're just a DE and you're not even gonna get this setup, then I will probably say, yeah, get the 370 diff, especially for your automatics. It's amazing. I actually find myself shifting more. Like, I'll probably see if I can show the video. If I can't, I'll just put down that I couldn't share his race. But when I race Gerson, the fastest DE here, he makes 326. He has the same setup as me, but he's on low compression. His motor has been giving him issues. He has a DE Gen 2 motor. So those motors have HR heads. So his head flows and the cams are way better than ours. So he made that on low compression. Imagine if his motor was healthy, he would have made probably like 340, maybe even 350 without cams. So, and he revs to 82, I think. So whereas I race at, I rev to only 71. So that was a big difference. Another thing, if you're gonna get this manifold, sorry guys, I'm talking but so much, but I'm just trying to get everything I can get out. If you're trying to get this manifold, just know you will have to open your motor. Why? Because this motor, this manifold, since it's a high ram, you make power up top, whether you have cams or not. Because the way it was going, my graph was going up and it never fell off until it was after 72. The reason why I fell off at 72 is because my valve started floating. Once you can see the graph, like, it didn't even just die off. It just like the graph went like all the way up, and it just did like that because the valves were floating. So I needed valve springs and all that. So I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do valve springs, why not do cams and everything else that I'm gonna do? Oil pump, all those supported mods. So if you guys want to do this, just know you possibly will have to rev your motor to 8K. So that's the goal for me. I want to be able to rev this to 8K. Stock block, can I do it? Yes, I can. I spoke to all the guys. Stock block, yes, you can. It all depends on how healthy your motor is, and you need to add supporting mods like oil pump, valve springs, retainers, shims. You need rod bolts. You for sure need rod bolts, whether it's Nismo rod bolts. I recommend ARP rod bolts. and ACL or King bearings, rod bearings, because the rods are the weakest points on the DEs. So you really want to, you know, change that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's if you want to run the manifold. So that's a lot of work. So yeah. Yeah. So when I'm going with a new throttle body setup, this throttle body will not be going on anymore. I think this throttle body was, well, for stock everything, well, like stock block and stock heads, this was too much, because my homeboy Gerson, he said he has the same thing as me. His car felt better with the 75mm throttle body, and this was, it felt more responsive with that than this. So I think this was more for top end, maybe. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm gonna change. I'm not going with that. I'm gonna just go with a different throttle body. I'm gonna go with something bigger, because when I go cams, I want to be able to shove as much air as I can, because I'm not going ITBs. So, but still, you know what I mean, too much air is better than not enough air, I guess. If I had enough money, I would build the bottom end, but I'm not doing that. It's just, yeah, I mean, I know I want to keep this motor NA. I mean, but if I do get enough money, I'll probably build the motor or even stroke the motor. Like the Sasha, his 350, I'll probably do something like that if I had the money. But I'm gonna just try to see if I can keep it stock displacement, stock bottom end, even just put cams, and I'll be fine. Yeah, so yeah, that's that. Now with the 370Z Y pipe, the ISR Y pipe, I was gonna make a separate video about it as to why I think it's a good Y pipe and a bad Y pipe at the same time. I did an experiment on that Y pipe when I first had my G, and I didn't make I made the same amount of torque, and we were trying to figure out why my torque was so low, because the DEs don't normally make that low of a torque. And I started to realize it could be Y pipe, because the exhaust cams on the DEs, like the stock ones, even the intake cams are so small that when you're doing exhaust work, you're not really gaining anything. So that's why I put those cams were too much. I mean, the Y pipe was too much. When I got the Megan Racing Y pipe, I made more torque. I made 270 torque. That was on my last setup. And I went back to ISR, because the reason why ISR is so good on 370s and VHR motors is because it's mainly for top end. It's not for torque, it's for top end. So if you're looking for top end, you should get long tube headers and ISR 370 Y pipe. That's if you don't really care about your torque, but if you care about your top end, get that. And then, but if you want balance, I would say get like maybe a Tomei Z1 or Soho Y pipe. Those are nice. Yeah, that would be the only Y pipes I would recommend. But if you just want top end, like mid to top end, just get ISR 370 Y pipe. But it would really work well if you have like a Kinetics or this type of manifold, the Holley high ram. But if you're just with the plenum spacer and whatnot, then just stick to a Motordyne or whatever, you know. Yeah, I think I've talked too much. Sorry for you guys. I'm just trying to give a lot of info from what I know from what I've done so far. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this motor apart and just do like refreshing on the motor without building the motor, just like timing, gallery gaskets. Even though DE gallery gaskets don't go bad, I'm still gonna change everything, refresh the motor. My motor only has 92,000 miles, but I just want to change everything. I did a compression test on it. The motor, the bottom end is good. So that's why I just want to throw cams and send it, rev it to 8. Now if I can rev this thing to 82, this will, that'll be crazy to do, but you guys let me know what your thoughts are, your questions. I'm here to answer. But yeah, I'll just go over it again. Holley high ram, ported lower manifold, thermal gaskets upper and lower, motor dyno arent gasket, 3.5-inch exhaust with a V stack. Where is my V stack? With a V stack. It was like this. This V stack was skunk tooth. I like these type of V stacks because the air comes in here. There's a lot of V stacks where this part, you know, is not it's blocked off and you just have to get air from here. But I just like skunk tooth. Skunk tooth is my go-to for V stack filters and all that. What else? Gap spark plugs from Limp Mode Tuning. What else? Crank pulley and idler pulley delete and alternator pulley, which is right here. AMS. What else? GTR Injectors, AM340 fuel pump. I'm also selling that because I'm getting a bigger one to run M5, because I've never seen a DE run M5, so I want to see, well, with my setup, will I be able to make the gains I'll be able to make. ISR long tube headers, ISR 370 ZY pipe, and ISR titanium. Fucking love this car exhaust. But one thing I will let you guys know is if you guys are gonna get long tubes, I would most likely recommend OBX, because I spoke with RZG because when he set, you know, his DE and his HRNA, when he set those records first, he was like, OBX just felt better and sounded better actually, because ISR headers, long tubes are so raspy, especially on DEs. DEs are more raspier than HRs and VHRs. So in a way, it's like, yeah, just get OBX. Yeah, that is that. Everything gutting weight. Cutting weight is one of the biggest things. If you didn't know, for you guys that didn't know, 350Z DEs are actually the lightest Zs, especially the DEs. They're the lightest. After the DEs is 370s. They're the second lightest, and then HRs. HRs are the heaviest Zs. I know these Zs weigh 30. Well, the base model manual is 3188, and I've gutted the car so much. Even the intake manifold, the OEM one, that thing is heavy. I took out the front crash bar, the rear crash bar. This doesn't weigh that much. What else have I done? Done a lot of, you know, shedding, you know, everything. So the car, you know, I don't know how much it weighs, but I'm assuming it's 28. This is still with AC, passenger airbag on the dash, and that's it. So I will go and weigh it very soon when the car's back up and running. But when I get everything I need, you guys will see. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm here to answer them. Just let me know what you think. Comment down below, like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Peace.